All right, let's dive into something a little different today. We are going to break down a fascinating and really specific strategy for building wealth, but I want you to forget everything about getting rich quick. This is about something way bigger. It's about creating a financial fortress, one that's designed to protect and provide for a family, not just for your lifetime, but for generations to come.
To really get the mindset behind this whole strategy, you have to start with this core idea from Tom Bilyeu. See, the goal isn't just about piling up a bunch of assets, no. It's about structuring your wealth so that it actually serves your family and protects your time with them, not the other way around.
And that really brings us to the central question of this entire explainer. How do you actually design a system where your wealth works for your family's well-being, across generations, instead of becoming some kind of burden or a source of conflict? Well, this strategy offers one very, very detailed answer.
So the answer begins with a major shift in philosophy. It actually requires a fundamental change in how you think about, and maybe more importantly, how you hold your assets.
This slide just visualizes that shift perfectly. Just look at how as the net worth goes up, the way the portfolio is built changes dramatically. This strategy is all about hitting the accelerator on that process, actively moving money out of liquid stuff like stocks and cash and putting it into the very things that form the bedrock of the wealthiest portfolios, income-producing real estate and actual business interests.
Okay, so how is this actually done? The entire legacy anchor strategy really rests on three distinct but totally interconnected pillars. So let's break them down.
First up is the legal pillar, and that's all about shielding the assets. The second is the financial pillar, which focuses on pure efficiency. We're talking cutting costs and taxes, not just chasing more revenue. And finally, you have the operational pillar, which is about building a self-sustaining business ecosystem to keep the whole thing running smoothly.
Now, the absolute cornerstone of that legal pillar is something called the heir-proof operating agreement. I want you to think of it literally as a constitution for the family's wealth. It's designed so that future generations can enjoy the income from the assets, but they are legally blocked from selling off the core properties or, running the business into the ground. The day-to-day stuff, that's all handled by employees, which makes the whole system resilient to any one person's mistakes.
Now, I know this is complex stuff, so the source material offers up this brilliant analogy to make it all just click. Don't think of it as buying a house. I want you to think of it as building a medieval castle, right from the ground up.
Here's how all the different parts map out. The physical castle walls, well, that's the fireproof construction in a super secure location. The feudal law, the rules that dictate who can do what, that's the heir-proof operating agreement. The serfs who work the land, they're the employees and managers who actually run the business. And the treasury, that gets filled using a tax strategy that values the castle based on what it cost you to build, not its massive market price.
Okay, enough theory. Let's see how this actually looks in the real world with a specific case study, the development of an equestrian family resort.
So the project is set on 41 acres of shovel-ready land up in Shasta County, California. And this location was specifically chosen for its access to all kinds of outdoor recreation and, as we're going to see in a minute, for other, much more strategic reasons.
Now, the plan requires a pretty significant initial investment. We're talking a $10 million budget to build 8 large resort homes plus an event center. And get this, it's all done without taking on any debt.
A really key part of the financial strategy is what they call the owner-builder approach. So instead of hiring a general contractor who would just add a 30% margin on top of everything, the partners manage the construction themselves. They hire all the subcontractors directly, in this case, even family members who have construction experience, and that keeps that significant profit margin inside the project.
And here is where that owner-builder approach pays off massively for the long term. Because property taxes are assessed on the cost to build, not the final market value, the tax bill gets cut almost in half. That is nearly $5,000 in savings per property per year forever.
The revenue side is also really smart and diversified. The base income comes from weekly short-term rentals, with each home designed for multiple families to share. But the real prize is the super lucrative MICE market. That's meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions. And the final stream? That comes from vertical integration, meaning the partners' own companies handle the construction and management, keeping all those profits in-house.
So what's the bottom line? With this model, at a pretty conservative 70% occupancy, the projected annual profit for each of the 3 partners is a staggering $462,000. This is the power you get when you minimize costs and maximize these niche revenue streams. But, honestly, the immediate profit is only part of the story. The true endgame here is creating something that is built to last through almost any potential disaster you can think of.
And the resilience planning here is intense. The buildings are physically fireproof. The location was chosen as one of the few places in the U.S. projected to be safe from nuclear fallout. Financially, being completely debt-free makes it incredibly stable. And to prevent family feuds down the line, there's even a clause that allows a majority vote to donate all profits to charity, which is a powerful way to stop any infighting.
Beyond just the raw numbers, the payoff is a very specific lifestyle. Sure, it provides passive income, but it also gives access to these shared family properties with zero maintenance headaches. And a fascinating perk is the tax-free travel. Through luxury home exchange networks, the partners can essentially trade stays at their properties for barter points. Then they can use those points to vacation at other high-end properties anywhere in the world without it being a taxable event. Pretty cool, right?
This quote from the source just really captures the whole essence of the project. It's not just a business plan. It's a proactive, deliberate act of shaping a family's future, of literally writing the rules that are going to guide them for decades to come.
Which leaves us with a final kind of thought-provoking question. This strategy, it offers immense security and potential, but it also requires incredible foresight, capital, and control. So it really makes you wonder, what is the true price in terms of money, effort, and even freedom of building a truly impenetrable financial fortress for your family?